One thought and character. A man is chooses what he thinks. His character being the complete sum of all his thoughts. All the plant springs from and cannot be without the seed. So every act of man springs from the hidden seeds of thought and cannot have appeared without them. This applies equally to those acts called spontaneous and unpremeditated, as to those which are deliberately executed. Godlike character is not a thing of favor or chance, but is the natural result of continued effort in right thinking, the effect of long cherished association with godlike thoughts. Man is made or unmade by himself. By the right choice and the true application of thought, man ascends to the divine perfection. Between these two extremes are all the grades of character, and the man is their maker and the master. Then man is the master of thought, the molder of character, and the maker and the shaper of condition, environment, and destiny. As a being of power, intelligence, and love, and the lord of his own thoughts, man holds the key to every situation and contains within himself that transforming and regenerative agency by which he may make himself what he wills. He then becomes the wise master, directing his energies with intelligence and fashioning his thoughts to fruitful issues. Such is the conscious master, and the man can only thus become by discovering within himself the laws of thought, which discovery is totally a matter of application, self-analysis, and experience. If he would dig deep into the mind of his soul, and that he is the maker of his character, the molder of his life, and the builder of his destiny, if he would watch, control, and elder his thoughts, tracing their effects upon himself, upon others, and upon his life and circumstances, linking cause and effect by patient practice and investigation, and utilizing his every experience, even to the most trivial, everyday occurrence, as a means of attaining that knowledge of himself, which is understanding, wisdom, power. Man's mind may be likened to a garden, which may be intelligently cultivated or allowed to run wild. By pursuing this process, a man sooner or later discovers that he is the master gardener of his soul, the director of his life, how the thought, forces, and mind elements operate in the shaping of his character, circumstances, and destiny. Thought and character are one, and as character can only manifest and discover itself through environment and the circumstance, the outer conditions of a person's life will always be found to be harmoniously related to his inner state. Every man is where he is by the love he's being. This is just as true of those who feel out of harmony with their surroundings and of those who are contented with them. As a progressive and evolving being, man is where he is that he may learn, that he may grow, and as he learns the spiritual lesson which any circumstance contains for him, it passes away and gives place to other circumstances. Men do not attract that which they want, but that which they are. Men are anxious to improve their circumstances, but are unwilling to improve themselves. Good thoughts and actions can never produce bad results. A bad thought and actions can never produce good results. Suffering is always the effect of wrong thought in some direction. It is an indication that the individual is out of harmony with himself, with the law of his being. The proof of its truth is in every person, and it therefore admits of its investigation by systemic introspection and self-analysis. Beautiful thoughts of all kinds crystallize into habits of grace and kindness, which solidify into general and the sunny circumstances. Pure thoughts crystallize into habits of temperance and self-control, which solidify into circumstances of repose and peace. Thoughts of courage, self-reliance, and decision crystallize into many habits, which solidify into circumstances of success, plenty, and freedom. Energetic thoughts and crystallize into habits of cleanness and industry, which solidify into circumstances of pleasantness. Gentle and forgiving thoughts crystallize into habits of gentleness, which solidify into protective and preservative circumstances. Loving and unselfish thoughts crystallize into habits of self-forgetfulness for others, which solidify into circumstances of sure and abiding prosperity and true riches. A particular train of thought persisted in, being good or bad, cannot fail to produce its results on the character and circumstances. A man cannot directly choose his circumstances, but he can choose his thoughts, and so indirectly yet and surely shape his circumstances. As the physical weak, man can make himself strong by careful and patient training, so the man of weak thoughts can make them strong by exercising himself and right thinking. His condition is also his own, and not another man's. His suffering and his happiness are evolved from within. As he thinks, so he is. As he continues to think, so he remains. A life that was an ocean of truth, beneath the waves, beyond the reach of tempest and the eternal calm. Self-control is strength, right thought is mastery, calmness is power. Say unto your heart, peace be still. Okay. Serenity. Calmness is mind. Calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. It is the result of long and patient effort in self-control. This patience is an indication of ripened experience and of a more than ordinary knowledge of laws and the operations of thought. A man becomes calm in the measure that he understands himself as a thought-evolved being. For such knowledge necessitates another understanding of others as the result of thought, and as he develops a right understanding and sees more and more clearly the internal relations of things, by the action of cause and effect, he ceases to feel fuss and shame and worry and grief, and remains poised, steadfast, and serene. The calm man, having learned how to govern himself, knows how to adapt himself to others, and they, in turn, reverence his spiritual strength, and feel that they can learn of him and rely upon him. The more tranquil a man becomes, and the greater is in his success, his influence, and his powerful good. Even the ordinary trader will find his business prosperity increase as he develops a greater self-control and equanimity. For people will always prefer to deal with a man whose demeanor is strongly equable. The strong, calm man is always loved and revered. He is like a shade grieving tree in a thirsty land, or the sheltering rock in a storm. Who does not love and shrink a heart, a sweet-tempered and balanced diet? It does not matter whether it rains and shines, or what changes come to those who possess these blessings, for they are always sweet, serene, and calm. That exquisite poise of character, which we call a serenity, is the last lesson of culture, the fruitage of the soul. It is precious as wisdom, more to be desired as gold, yeah, but even a fine gold. How insignificant mere money-seeking looks in a comparison with a serene life, a life that dwells in an ocean of truth beneath he weaves, beyond the reach of tempest and in the eternal calm. How many people we know who soar their lives, who ruin all that is sweet and beautiful by explosive tempers, who destroy their poise of character and make bad blood. It is a question whether the great majority of people do not ruin their lives and the more their happiness by lack of self-control. How few people we meet in life who are well balanced, who have the equilibrium poise which is characteristic of the finished character. Yes, immediate surge with uncontrolled passion is tumultuous. With ungoverned grief is one about the anxiety and the doubt. Only the wise man, only he those who thoughts, only he whose thoughts are controlled and purified, make the winds and storms of the soul obey him. Tempest toast the souls, wherever ye may be, under whatsoever conditions ye may live. Now this is the ocean of life, the essence of blessedness, are smiling, and the sunny shore of your ideal wizard of the coming. Keep your hand firmly upon the helm of thoughts, and the bark of your soul reclines in a commanding master. He does but sleep, wake up, self-control is strength, right thought is mastery, calmness is power. Say unto your heart, peace, be still. Okay, that's good.